The Committee on General Government Operation, Appropriation, and Housing is now called to order. Today is Monday, October 11th. The time now is 9 o'clock. Welcome to everyone connected by Zoom and those tuning in via television or the YouTube channel. Thank you for your patience and for accommodating the Zoom platform while we maintain social distancing mandates. Public notice for this public hearing were disseminated via email to all senators and all main media broadcasting outlets on Monday, October 4th, 2021, and again on Thursday, October 7th. The bill will be entertained this morning is bill number 205-36, introduced by myself. And I like to add a new subsection 8 to section 15401A of Article 4, Chapter 15, Title 4, Guam Code Annotated, relative to authorizing the Guam Ethics Commission to retain legal services. The rules of conduct for this hearing is this Zoom meeting is hosted by my staff and mute all Zoom participants until called upon. Members of the committee and or non-committee members will be allowed to pose a question to an individual testifying. Individuals testifying shall first be recognized by myself before speaking and begin by stating their name for record-keeping purposes when called to speak. Please ensure that you are unmuted. Question testimony shall be confined to the substance or nature of the agenda. Personal inference as to the character or the motive of any senator or any individual testifying is not permitted. Any violation of this general rule of conduct will result in removal from the virtual public hearing. Please ensure that your video remains on throughout the hearing. Participants must be visible at all times and not engage in any other activity during the hearing. Failing to maintain visibility may cause your removal from the meeting live stream. If you're eating a snack or having a drink, coffee, please feel free to continue. I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues that have joined me this morning. We have Senator Amanda Shelton, Senator Tuttle Tideway, and Senator Joanne Brown. Thank you, colleagues, for joining this morning. I'd like to acknowledge that we have Mr. Jesse King, the Executive Director of the Guam Ethics Commission. Before I ask you to provide opening your testimony, Jesse, I'm going to go ahead and just read the bill so that everybody and the people of Guam understand what the bill is about. This bill is the right and just that the Guam Ethics Commission shall be an independent and autonomous entity within the government of Guam with the authority to adjudicate complaints against government officials who may have violated the ethical code of conduct. It is essential that the commission is supported by an independent counsel, which will adequately address complaints against public officials in accordance with our local laws. This will promote transparency and accountability within our island to maintain good governance. Bill 205 allows for the authorization of the commission to retain legal services in support of its operation and hearing, adjudicating ethics complaints against government Guam officials. I look forward to hearing testimonies in today's hearing and appreciate your participation. And Mr. Kenga, I will ask you to, I'd like to recognize, okay, Senator Brown, I think I recognized you earlier that you're here. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Kenga, if you would go ahead and begin with state your name, your position, and then please begin your testimony.
Right, thank you. Hafading, good morning to Chairman Senator San Agustin, Vice Chair Senator Amanda Shelton, and Senators Tello Tidegui and Joanne Brown. My name is Jesse King. I'm the Executive Director of the Guam Ethics Commission, and I'm here to provide testimony on behalf of the Commission in support of Bill 205. The Commission understands the need to have an impartial and independent legal counsel to support its function of adjudicating ethics-related complaints. In September, the Office of the Attorney General provided the following guidance regarding the Commission's intent to obtain legal services. The Commission's enabling statute provided two options to avail of legal services. Either legal services be provided by the OAG, or the Commission would employ a full-time staff attorney. The first option presented a conflict of interest challenge, particularly if there would be officials of the OAG that is subject to an ethics-related complaint. The second option is estimated to cost the Commission anywhere between $70,000 to $120,000 annually, inclusive of benefits. The Commission's FY22 appropriation is not sufficient to support this estimated cost. At its September meeting, the Commission discussed and adopted Resolution 2021-003, which respectfully requests the Legislature introduce a measure giving the Commission the option to retain legal services. The Commission is grateful to the sponsor of this legislation, Senator Agustin, and respectfully requests support of Bill 205 from this legislative body. Sujeus Masi.
Thank you, Mr. Kenga. I'd ask my colleagues if you have any questions for Mr. Kenga, starting with Senator Amanda Shelton, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Half a day, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for being here and for your testimony, Mr. Kenga. I just wanted to know if this is something that is budgeted within your existing budget. If you were to this were to pass during this fiscal year, is this something that you would already take advantage of?
Thank you for that question, Senator Shelton. The Commission has already done its due diligence. We initiated some solicitations and found that the average market cost for a private attorney is about $200 an hour. So factoring that on average, if we were to obtain legal services for about 10 hours a month for the duration of the year, then there would be funds sufficient. So thank you very much for asking.
Okay, thank you very much. I do understand the need for this type of legislation, as we've allowed for our autonomous or semi-autonomous agencies to do the same, to acquire their own legal counsel, and especially for the Ethics Commission to prevent any type of conflict. So thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for this bill, and to Mr. Kenga for the testimony today.
Thank you, Senator Shelton. Senator AUTHORIZING. Senator, go ahead and unmute. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to my colleagues, and good morning to you, Jesse. It's good to see you. You know, you've come before us, I think, gosh, a handful of times on different things, trying to piecemeal everything together, but I'm glad to see that you're probably on this almost the last leg of what you're trying to accomplish here. And if there's funding that's needed, then that's probably the next step, you know, to obtain this attorney, if it's not incorporated. However, Jesse, when you use the Attorney General's office, when it's not a conflict of interest, do you pay out of your budget to the Attorney General?
Excellent question, Senator Taitigui. So how the arrangement works is, if we're not leveraging and supporting their office by cost sharing a particular attorney, and then our requests tend to fall in line with all the other requests. So we raise the risk that these types of legal questions tend to take a while in getting responses back, which you're probably quite familiar with. So the alternative that the AG presented us is that we would have to recruit an attorney and cost share that position, which would then be directly related to that second option, which is quite costly for the Commission to do.
I see. That's good to hear. Well, you know, I support this, definitely support this. You do need that assistance. I mean, even with the legislature, we need to also look at, you know, hiring an attorney for our ethics panel as well. My only concern is that, Jesse, you know, moving forward, we need to, you know, expedite these complaints that come in and not let it linger so long. If there's anything in your bylaws, if you have not incorporated, I hope you will, that complaints that come in about individuals will be heard and seen and you know, brought before the panel in 30 days, you know, and address these issues instead of lingering it on. That's my only concern. And if getting an attorney is going to assist you into any prolonging of these complaints that are coming in, then by all means, you know, Mr. Chair, I stand in support of this legislation and ask to be a co-sponsor of this, you know, to move this forward. So I don't think he heard me. He was like he's talking. But anyways, Jesse, good luck to you. You're on the right path. If there's any funding needed, you know, moving forward to make this happen, you know, I'm sure you're going to come toward us. But Mr. Chair, thank you so much for the opportunity. And I don't know if you heard me, but, you know, standing in full support of this legislation and asked to be a co-sponsor of it. of the bill, and hope that this legislation will not prolong any complaints coming to the Ethics Committee and hear them right away. Within 30 days, the people of Guam should be able to know when a complaint comes in, that you review it, which is a legal perspective, and in 30 days, the people of Guam find out what's going on. So I thank you for that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And thank you, Senator Tello. And yes, when we get to the floor, we'll highly request that the body accepts you as a co-sponsor. I know Senator Shelton asked me that privately. Not a problem. Senator Brown, and I'd like to also recognize Senator Mueller has joined us, even though his phone is sideways, but we'll work with that. Senator Brown, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I don't have any questions. I think it's pretty much a given as to the need for the Ethics Commission to have a legal counsel available as they review cases and, ensure that they're getting the proper advice on how they proceed with such complaints that are brought before them. So I have no questions to ask and will support the legislation. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Brown. And maybe I'll use the add all our colleagues to the bill, and unless they object. Thank you.
Yeah, just prioritize your colleagues that show up for your hearings.
Yes, I will.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman.
ma'am,
Thank
I
you.
sure will. Thank you. Senator Moylan, do you have any questions for the Ethics Commission for Mr. King?
No questions. I support the bill. Looking forward to them getting the job done. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. King.
Thank you very much. Being that there's no one else to speak on the bill, I guess this will be one of the quickest hearings we've had. Well, they will continue to receive testimony in case anyone wants to submit additional testimony to this. And please submit your testimonies to the mailroom of the Guam Legislature or through email at senatorjoesaugustine@gmail.com. Again, I want to thank everyone for attending this virtual public hearing and for providing feedback and suggestions. The public hearing is now adjourned. The time now is 9:12. So Jules Mossy, and we'll be back at 10 o'clock to hear the Election Commission bills. All right, sponsored by Senator Moylan. Thank you. Please be safe.